Carolyn Castro. My project is called Brand Community and Engagement in the Family Tourism Industry in Central Florida, a comparison of Universal Orlando Resort and Walt Disney World Resort. I'd like to begin by sharing with you the video that inspired this project.
Thought along that. What you said?
About not being treated like a little kid anymore. Staying up later.
Being more adventurous. You just have one thing to say about that.
It's about time.
It's about. Kids grow up. Student vacations. 3 theme parks. 5 resort hotels. Universal Orlando Resort.
I've been obsessed with theme parks since the summer of 1972, when my family first visited Walt Disney World. Even though I've technically grown up, I still have a Disney Parks obsession. And this is my career goal for when I retire. So I found the new ad campaign by Universal Orlando Resort intriguing, and I wanted to learn more about their efforts to attract a bigger share of the family leisure destination market. Who is their intended audience? Is it the same as Disney's target audience? How have the two resorts approached the competition for the same vacationers? These questions led to my research question for this project. How has branding engaged the target audiences for the Universal Orlando Resort and Walt Disney World Resort? My literature review encompassed searches for sources on such topics as theme park history, statistics about who the leaders in the field are, and general information about marketing the tourist experience. This research confirmed some of what I already knew, that the Disney parks are the world's leading theme parks and everyone else is competing for a share of that market. But I wondered why. What makes Disney the leader? Further research pointed to 2 concepts we've discussed this semester: engagement and branding. According to Will Burns, writing in Forbes magazine, Disney engages their audience through storytelling. Sarah Banet-Weiser says that developing a brand entails the making and selling of immaterial things, feelings and affects, personalities and values, rather than actual goods, and Disney has a long history of doing this. Their storytelling ability creates an instantly recognizable brand in any language and an experience that will consistently be magical. As Muniz and O'Gwyn discuss in their article, Brand Community members know they share a social bond around a branded, mass-produced commodity and believe it is reasonable to do so. Another important quality of brand community that is evident here is what Muniz and O'Gwyn refer to as oppositional brand loyalty. Through opposition to competing brands, brand community members derive an important aspect of their community experience. In the case of the 2 theme park complexes being examined in this study, visitors are usually either Disney people or Universal people. Especially now that both resorts are multi-day destinations, families typically don't spend one day at a Disney park and another day at a Universal park. Discounted pricing on multi-day tickets for each resort encourages visitors to stay in on-site hotels and play at only their theme parks. But I'm getting slightly ahead of myself. My project started to evolve when I tried to develop a strategy to study each resort's marketing communications. I decided to do a comparison of the Universal Orlando Resort and the Walt Disney World Resort at two different periods, 1990 and today, to compare the early focus of their studio parks and how the resorts have evolved to continue to attract a share of the family leisure market. I selected 1990 as a starting point because Disney opened its third Florida theme park, Disney MGM Studios, on May 1st, 1989, and Universal Studios opened Universal Studios Florida on June 7th, 1990. Looking at theming and strategy in 1990 provides a picture of the original focus for these parks. Comparing that period to today enables us to see what has changed in their focus and to analyze whether that change appeals to a different segment of the family tourism audience. My research told me that the idea of a studio tour theme park was very popular in 1990, and Universal had been running a very successful one in California for decades before it expanded to Florida. Universal's slogan, "Ride the Movies," emphasized action and connection to its well-known movie-making history. However, Disney had rushed to open their studio park when word got out that Universal was developing a Florida version of their Hollywood park. And then, when Universal opened a year later, frequent technical problems with their rides often caused long lines and frustration among guests, including on opening day, when all three major rides malfunctioned. Disney's Studio Tour theme park opened a year before Universal's. Although they had an exciting backlot tram tour, a functioning production studio, and an attraction focusing on animation, one of the main attractions, known as the Great Movie Ride, featured audio animatronic scenes from classic movies that were not created by Disney, including The Wizard of Oz, Alien, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. In addition, many visitors felt that the park was a half-day park with few attractions to keep them there for an entire day. In 1999, Universal added an entertainment area known as City Walk and a second theme park, Islands of Adventure, with 6 themed islands featuring characters licensed from other companies, such as Dr. Seuss and Marvel Comics. This park had more thrill rides than their studio park, and certainly more than Walt Disney World. The adventure themes here contrasted with the princesses and fairy tales at Walt Disney World. Fast forward to 2017. Neither studio park has a backlot studio tour anymore. Disney's studio park has undergone a name change to Disney's Hollywood Studios and is said to be facing another name change after an upcoming overhaul of the park is completed. A new land based on the Disney Pixar animated film Toy Story is opening in 2018. Another new land devoted to Star Wars, which Disney did not create but now owns, is expected to open in 2019. Also, the Great Movie Ride has closed and is being replaced by a ride featuring Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Although their slogan has changed, Universal still provides opportunities for guests to ride the movies, with attractions featuring Fast and Furious, the Minions from Despicable Me, and The Mummy. In addition, a new attraction featuring NBC Universal personality Jimmy Fallon invites fans to race through New York with the host of The Tonight Show. The addition of this ride seems to reinforce Universal's focus on the 18 to 49-year-old demographic, since The Tonight Show is the #1 late-night choice of viewers in this age group. The world of Harry Potter has been recreated in attractions in both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. By splitting the Harry Potter attractions between the two parks, Universal ensures that guests will spend more time and more money at their parks than if they had kept this theme in just one park. Talk about engagement. An examination of their official social media sites shows that both resorts have successfully used Integrated Marketing Communications, or IMC, to keep guests engaged even when they are not at the parks. Universal has about 534,000 Twitter followers and almost 2.5 million Facebook followers, and uses social media to talk about upcoming events at the resort, offer prizes for guests who engage with them on Twitter, and promote special programs. Disney World has almost 2.9 million followers on Twitter and almost 15.7 million Facebook followers. Both resorts also link to official blogs from their homepage. In addition, both resorts also promote their properties through the traditional media channels the companies own. Disney owns the ABC television network and often broadcasts its flagship morning show, Good Morning America, from Walt Disney World when a major new attraction opens. They also broadcast primetime specials from the parks for holidays and other special occasions. Interestingly, Walt Disney himself used the then new medium of television to create interest in Disneyland before it opened. Likewise, Universal is part of the NBC Universal family, which has its own popular morning show, The Today Show, that it uses to feature new park developments. There are also many unofficial fan websites that share news about these resorts. However, a Google search for Walt Disney World fan site yields far more results than a search for Universal Orlando fan site, attesting to the power of the Disney brand community. And now for some final thoughts. I began this project knowing that Disney is the leader in family tourism destinations. As my focus evolved to an examination of the strategies for Disney's and Universal's studio parks, I was surprised to learn that Universal was actually the studio park with the more cohesive identity from 1990 to today. Although the movies they've featured have changed, their focus has remained primarily on riding the movies. Disney's studio park never really found its identity, and its latest iteration seems to be just a different version of their Magic Kingdom, featuring rides based on well-loved stories and characters. However, the Walt Disney World Resort as a whole engages in consistent IMC and shows a real talent for branding and storytelling that engages children of all ages. Disney's resort, with 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and almost 30 official resort hotels, continues to attract more guests, including repeat guests, than Universal's 2 theme parks, new water park, and 5 hotels. Disney's latest marketing video, called That's the Power of Magic, reinforces their focus on being that magical destination for children of all ages. In contrast to Universal's marketing message that kids grow up, so do vacations, Disney's new video reminds viewers that the world tells you to grow up, but here you'll never have to.
Think of the happiest things. It's the same as having wings. To the stars beyond the blue, there's a Neverland waiting for you. When you leave the world behind, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
Thank you.